Oh my God, shorties. Hey, how are you? How are we? Welcome, welcome. It's not even exciting. You might have heard that the Turtleroos have decided to see what we can do with being like Australian turtle riders. And so here we are. I have two amazing guests. The first one is my good friend Lily, and she is backstage waiting. So let me just pull her up so we can say hi. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, yeah? Well, hello.
Hello. Hello. How are
Hello, hello.
you?
I'm very well, thank you. We were just discussing backstage how stinking hot it is in Queensland, even though it's winter. So
So hot. It's like freaking annoying. Yeah. So
and
excuse me while I sweat.
that's hot, babe, like literally.
No, I wish.
So
Thanks so much for having me.
my pleasure. It was always a package deal, and I'm glad you were able to shuffle your stuff on your end for this exciting escapade.
Yeah, of course. I was set to start my John Duca series today, but I've actually been unwell for about 10 days with influenza A. Just, a little bit of sympathy. But so I probably wasn't I wasn't as prepped as I would like to be. I want to kind of give it all of the effort it well deserves. So it's going to be an incredible series, and I'm excited. But I have pushed it back a week, and able to fit in with Turtleboy's busy schedule. So wouldn't be anywhere else.
And thank goodness, I'm so glad you're here. So I guess maybe the folks might be here for our third guest in particular. Well, second guest, third participant. I don't know. You guys might know him as Uncle,
Daddy.
like Daddy. I mean, it works. Doctor, or maybe just Aiden. Oh, nah, let's call him Turtleboy. Come on in, Turtleboy. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing. How has your Friday been?
It's been all right. How about yours? Isn't it Saturday there now?
We are in the future, right, Lily?
I know.
We're in the future. Yeah, we're
What
in the
time is
future.
it? Is it 9 a.m. there, or what time is it?
11.
It's 11 8. Jesus Christ! Wow.
I know.
So, I always remember our time and like Boston time by because of court starting, right? So court started at 11 p.m. every night for us.
11 p.m. it would start. Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Aiden, the number of times that I set my alarm absolutely for Jen McCabe's testimony and Trooper Proctor's. But I get up very early for my day job work, so I was only ever about 4 or 5 hours behind catching up on 1.7x speed from here. But yes, we live our lives with one foot on either side of the planet, don't we, Lily, with time zones and stuff?
We do. And my sleep schedule was completely turned on its head. I couldn't sleep knowing the trial was on. Like I've followed so many trials, true crime for so long, and I've always kind of been able to wait until the next day. And then, as I'm working, I'll catch up on the hearings from the night before. But yeah, so for 10 weeks, really, I was, not productive. I'm lucky I work kind of remote, but yeah, not productive at all. I couldn't sleep. It was like 11 o'clock I'd start following Tom CPU on his drive in at like whatever, maybe 9 o'clock, I guess, my time. And then I'd flick over to Dylan and Sean and hang out with them for a bit. And then I'd come over to you, Aidan, if you weren't at court. But otherwise, then I'd flick between all the streamers, Blaira and Dylan and Sean and everyone during the night. And every night I'd say, right, Lil, you've got till 2 a.m. That's it. You've got to go to sleep tonight. And then it doesn't happen. I'd put my AirPods in and I'd listen even to like Lally droning on with his shit. And I still would just, something had happened and I'd have to have a look at my phone to, have a look at the witness or or whatever. You know, as you know, it's like something exciting and crazy would happen every day, and still does with this case, right?
There was some days where it was extremely boring, like the Mike Camerano day. I remember that. That was the day that I didn't get into the court because Grant wouldn't let me in. He had like saved seats for like, it was like my first day with a press pass. I was all excited. My mom packed my lunch for me. I was going in there and I got to the line and Grant is standing there like a troll, like a hobbit, like not, he's like, you are not allowed in here. You are a bad person. You have been accused of sexual assault and blah, 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 blah. And okay, so I just had to leave. And then we did the seat saver thing. I'm like, that's fine. We learned our lesson. But that day I wasn't allowed in was the most boring day of the trial. It was like when they brought in everyone who was at C.F. McCarthy's and we're like, what, if anything, did you drink? What was your drink of choice? Motherfucker, I had 2 Bud Lights. What else do you want to know about me? Was it snowing? Yes, it was snowing. Oh, really? How much was it snowing? What were you driving? Blah, blah, blah. Like Kurt Robinson. What do you think of Kerry? Well, she sucks, actually. I fucking hate her.
Yeah.
Then it got more exciting. After the firefighters and the everybody at C.F. McCarthy's thing, once Chris Albert got called, that's when the party got started. That's when it started getting fun, when all the McAlberts started getting called up one after another.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember watching with you with the firefighters and your frustration. It was you're so funny. Like, because you say what we think, you know, you say what the layperson thinks.
Yeah.
And I think that's
like,
I remember the frustration. You're like, I don't know,
background
firefighter, this is fucking stupid. I want to hear from Brian Albert. I want to see.
Yeah, like, so what was how long have you been a firefighter? Where'd you work before that? Like that one guy, Nuttall, that dude loved talking about himself. He was like so happy that like he had a captive audience that had to listen to him talk. He couldn't fucking wait. He's like, we get to talk about firefighting shit? Yeah, let's go. Let's talk all about it. And then he lied, and they all fucking lied about I hit him. Like that really disappointed me. Like I think it was 4 of them that testified that she said I hit him. But I'm telling you, like it all started with Katie McLaughlin. Like she sucks. She's like her and Julie Nagel. I hate them, and Garino. Those are the 3 most underrated douchebags in this whole affair. Katie McLaughlin, like their entire freaking case was I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, and it all came from her, and it's all a lie. And she got up there and just fucking lied about I hit him. And she was handpicked by Kevin Albert. We've seen in Michael Proctor's text messages to be the first firefighter that Proctor interviewed of all the firefighters. We got to get this chick up here. She wants to tell us something. And it's I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. No one else heard that. And then next thing you know, she's telling everyone at the station, oh, yeah, she said that. And that's how it became kind of like the other Flamati's like, oh, yeah, she definitely said that. Like, it gets in your head. Like, that's what she said, right? That's what she said, right? And that was their whole case. And I got news for you. Even I don't give a fuck if she said I hit him. What if I said I hit him? Does that mean I hit him? No, because I didn't fucking hit him because I couldn't have hit him, and neither could she. It's freaking impossible because she said I hit him. Doesn't matter.
So, Aidan, what was it like actually the very first day that you were actually able to how did that feel to be able to get into the court after you got your press pass and like inside you, how was that? Was that triumphant?
Well, the first day I got in, I was kicked out because that was the day that Julie Albert said bukkake twice, and Auntie and then my lawyer walks in the courtroom, and then there's this like murmur going around, like whispering, and all the other reporters are like, is that your lawyer? And I'm like, yeah, but he's here for something totally unrelated. I don't even know what's going on. And then he pulls me aside. He's like, it's not unrelated. I'm like, what? And they filed a motion to make me leave, and they did that. I mean, which is good. I mean, that was really actually good for business. Like I picked up a lot. That was my biggest pickup in followers day. Oh, you? That's how you guys.
You know what? I've got to say, Aidan, like I knew a relatively decent amount about the case and was leaning to the side of a frame up and stuff. But like I'm ashamed to say that I had kind of bought into the Turtleboy tropes. And so I was really like actively resisting jumping on to be a turtle rider because I'm like, no, the things they say about this guy, I don't know. And that day I'm like, fuck it. Follow. And I've been and like you had me at, yeah, just you.
What are the things they say?
Like that you're a loose cannon and that your methods are, you know, you're a bit extreme, and I don't even know anymore because fuck those guys.
Yeah, I mean, fair. I mean, it's not.
But we love that about you.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my thing. And somebody asked who's a supporter, you know, and I wasn't trying to crap on him or anything, but he tweeted something the other day, and he's like, if he stopped using these words, he could pick up more followers and market himself better. And I'm like, exactly. I'm like, that market, like words like that means like you're trying to make more money. Like, I don't want to, like, I don't give a shit.
Say the words.
I refuse to be a sellout. I won't do it. Like, no. I'm just me. Like I think he said, like, you know, is he pretending? Is he trying to be edgy? It's like, no, this is just the way I talk. It's always been the way I talk. The only difference now is I'm on YouTube saying this stuff. But like, I'm just being me. I'm just a kid from Worcester that this is just the way I talk. I don't know.
Yeah, same. I mean, we're Aussies. We talk like you talk. That's why I think there's so many Aussie, like turtleroos that really identify, and your style resonates, because that's kind of how we are. Yeah, Lily?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I mean, I actually found the Karen Reid case through Turtleboy. And but I didn't follow Turtleboy. I think it was when you had that argument with Wendy Murphy on STS. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was November-ish, maybe.
No, that was like last August. That was in August.
Well, there you go. Okay, well, that's when I saw that, and I thought, this dude's hilarious, because this chick's a fucking idiot.
Insane. Like, I had missed his invitation to come on. He had messaged me on Twitter, and then somebody's like, they're talking about you on the show STS. I'd never heard of it before. And I clicked on it, and I see Wendy Murphy on there, and she's on Court TV and stuff. So I also had no idea she was Grant's mother at the time. And so I started listening to her, and she starts talking about like the plow drove across the lawn and scooped them up. I'm like, this one, not even the McAlberts are saying that. Like, that's what the plow, like, so Karen hit him first, and then the plow finished him off. Like, what the fuck?
Makes total sense. Yeah. You know, and I think you mentioned, Grant, how this has all unfolded. I know you mentioned last week, you know, why are the Aussies so kind of fascinated? Like, why do you
don't you guys have killers?
Our murder cases?
Don't you guys have murders in Australia?
We do, but we don't have televised court proceedings in Australia. Oh. So I think probably that's quite a big limitation. In terms of like quite avidly following, there's not as much content there, you know, and or as much transparency. I mean, you can file for the documents, and
we're like really only the only country that does that, huh? Because you never see true crime in like England or France.
Yeah, so
anywhere else.
We're similar to England, right? You know, we base our law from England, which everyone kind of does. But yeah, like, and we don't have a First Amendment as such. You know, we've got, it's completely different. And you know, I mean, obviously we don't have a president, you know,
what do you have? A prime minister?
A prime minister, yeah. So we're the queen.
Yes. And then the other thing, Aidan, is, and I mentioned this the other night on, I think.
No, the king. It's a king now. Sorry, Shorty. Sorry.
So that's like, king, queen, I don't care. I mentioned the other night on Tommy CPU and Boston Mike's. Oh, it was my night, their morning. But the other thing that I think with Australians and the Karen Reid situation is that Aussies are renowned for since beginning of time being a nation that really roots for the underdog and really has a big problem with people who are being downtrodden, you know, like the little person who is being downtrodden by the system and by all of that. So I think that for us, Karen's plight resonates
like
very
the
deeply.
Breakdancer.
Pardon?
Like the Australian breakdancer?
Oh!
Can I just say something to her real quick?
Yes.
I don't think she's that bad. I don't think it was that. I think 0 was a little bit extreme for a score. Like, I've watched that video several times and broken it down. And it's like, I couldn't do that. She had a couple moves there. Like the side one she did like 4 flips. I think people need to give her a break. I don't think she was that bad.
I don't think she looked refined enough, though. It was rather clunky and clumsy, but you're very kind.
Yeah, I was like expecting a fucking disaster, and it wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad. I just got to say that about her. I wasn't that bad. I get what you're saying. The underdog, you guys root for the underdog. Karen Reid was the underdog for a while. I don't think she is anymore. I think we've transformed her into the favorite now, and that's a good thing. And that's why like the McAlberts have kind of turned themselves into we're the victim now. You know, we're the victim. Like the district attorney's office is saying with a straight face that they are the victim of a conspiracy between the FBI, Karen Reed, and something called Turtleboy. Like, and they're saying this with we're the victim of these people. They're conspired against us to investigate us. It's like, dude, you guys have all the guns, you have all the power. You're not victims. Like these people are amazing at turning themselves into victims.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. She's not the underdog now. I don't, obviously, the Morrissey et al. And all his henchmen never expected that shit would blow up like it's blown up, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he saw this one coming. There was a protest at one of his fundraisers yesterday. There was well over 100 people there in the pouring rain, and we were booing every single person that drove in there. It was great. It was awesome. And the Quincy cops, they loved us too. Like you could tell they were definitely like, they can't say it, they're working the detail or whatever, but they made sure to tell us we support your First Amendment rights to be here and just, watch out for don't get hit by a car, So I think most people agree with us and they know that most cops I talk to about my situation, they're like, it's fucking ridiculous. I used to, when I was in jail, I would see like this one CO, every time he'd look at me, he'd just start laughing. He's like, I can't believe you're fucking in here. He's like, I can't believe every day I see you. I can't fucking believe it. He's like, what am I going to watch on Tuesdays and Saturdays now? Like, what the fuck?
Yes. The standouts have been it's been growing, obviously, every time with people being, it seems less terrified to come out and show their support publicly. Have you felt that, not just in growing numbers, but in people like even coming to you and saying, I thank you, I feel safe to come out and be public about this?
Honestly, I don't think anyone ever felt unsafe coming out and being public. I made people feel safe from the beginning being part of this because I stood up to the bullies and I went out there and I'm just like, look, like by myself. I would start a lot of these protests outside of D&E Pizza. It would just be me and Richie, and I would just go there by myself. I'd go to the Walgreens across the street, make 4 signs that say like blood pizza or Jim Ferriss is rude or down Colin was in the house, and I would just stand outside on Main Street holding a protest, and by an hour later you got 100 people all over the place and they're all your supporters, and it's just like I inspire people not to be scared. Like, so I don't think anyone's ever been like, when they see me out there and I'm just going at these people, like I don't give a fuck. These people don't scare me. That none of them scare me. They have all the guns, all the power. None of them scare me. And I think that other people see that and they're like, fuck it. It's just like when the witch was dead, and all the freaking munchkins came out. It's like ding dong. And, daddy's in town. You don't have to worry about this shit anymore. Like big bad Brian Albert's not going to hurt you. And they don't like that. And that's ultimately why they ended up filing these charges on me.
Yes. That's maybe a good segue to the Canton 9 amazing news for those folks just doing stuff you're allowed to do there in the US. That was how are you guys all feeling about that? Obviously pretty proud, pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, Meredith's obviously one of them. So she's very happy that, that cloud looming over her head is now gone. But all of them, I'm sure feel a lot better about themselves. They were just on the Young Jerks. I was listening to them. They did all say that they're not planning on going back, which I get. And that's kind of the chilling effect of this all. But because they're like, I don't know if we got lucky this time. I don't know what would happen, but I'm pretty sure it's good that the court decided this is perfectly legal. Like you're allowed. I mean, it's absurd. We can't charge people for standing across the street with a sign that says justice on it or carrying an American flag. Like just because Chris Albert says that his feelings are hurt or some shit like that. So it's a good thing. Great thing.
Certainly. Actually, I'm organising a standout, myself and Lana and a few other Australian Aussies, because for us, your Labor Day it'll be like 4 a.m. Tuesday morning. So not ideal in terms of visibility or just life. But so on the Sunday, the 1st of September in Melbourne, there will be a standout from 10 a.m. with whoever's around, either in Melbourne or nearby, and they would like to come and be a part of it. We're going to be in our in South Bank, which is our main, one of our main touristy kind of areas where tourists and just, people who live in the city are all there down on the banks of the river. So save the date, everybody, because we're going to.
Are you guys both from Melbourne?
I am. Lily isn't.
No, I'm in Queensland, so I'm up north. I'm like
in Brisbane, right?
Yeah, I'm about an hour north of Brisbane. On the beach. So I kind of live. Yeah. So you've never been to Australia, have you?
I'm familiar with the geography. I know Melbourne's down near Tasmania, right? That's down the bottom. And everything good is on the east side except for Perth. And then there's just a gigantic desert in the middle filled with kangaroos and dingoes.
You're right. Yeah, exactly right. So you're familiar with the geography and the history of Australia, I imagine.
It was a penal colony for the bad boys from England, right?
Same as Massachusetts. Same as Massachusetts, wasn't
it? What? No, we were for prudes. Like basically, our people came here because the English weren't prudish enough, and so they wanted to come here and create a really prudish culture. The Puritans did, and then
is that why you can't say cunt?
I guess so. Yeah, probably. And that is there is a lot of like old school shit and math, like
God is completely retarded, by the way.
That shit has never gone away. Like it's still, you saw it in the court every day. It's kind of like, hear ye. What? Hear ye.
Oh yeah, hear ye.
And God save the Commonwealth, random.
God save the Commonwealth. Right.
Yeah.
But that's what Rhode Island is for. Rhode Island, that was a colony. That was like this guy, Roger Williams. Like he didn't want to be Puritan anymore. He wanted to fuck. And so he was like, we're going to go to Rhode Island. And that's where Rhode Island came from. It was a place where people just wanted to fuck and get away from Massachusetts puritanical bullshit.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't have people wanting to go to.
Yeah, this is what I taught. I mean, I didn't say it like that when I taught. Probably get in trouble if I did, but that's basically what happens.
Yeah, and you taught secondary, like high school, yeah?
Yeah, 11th graders, yep.
Yeah. Wow. Which is what, so he's an
ex-teacher. So it's like 16 and 17-year-olds, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I loved when I discovered that about you, which wasn't too far in, really, after I found you. Yeah. Bloody cool.
Well, I'm glad you guys, the trial, it's like now that it's over, I sometimes don't even know what to do with my day anymore. I listen to a lot of old clips on my way here. I just pick a random day and I just go ahead and listen to it. And today I was listening to day 11, which was, who was on that day? It was Caitlin Albert, Tristan. That's a good one. And then Sarah Levinson and Julie Bagel, which just sucks. And man, Tristan, he was actually one of their best witnesses. Like he had his lies. He's just like, I don't know what time it is. He's like, if you ask me about fucking time, I'm going to say, I have no fucking clue as quickly as you can. I don't do time. I have no fucking clue what time it is. Any time of the day. But just
you're listening. What time did you get to the waterfall? I don't know. Well, was it daylight? I don't know. So did you get there in the morning? I don't know.
So I listened to Caitlin Albert's testimony on the way in, and she was saying that like David Yannetti questioned her and like, so you got in the car with Tristan. Like, so let me get this straight. Your story is that Tristan left the waterfall bar to go home early because he had to get up at 3 o'clock to plow, right? Yes, correct. Okay. And then he came back and got you at 1:45 and then brought you back to Easton. She's like, yes. I'm like, she's like, so the plan, are you telling us that your plan going into the night was for Tristan to drive back to Easton, which is like 25 minutes away, and then sleep for 1 hour or 2 hours and then drive back to Canton to pick your drunk ass up and then drive back to Easton? I've met Tristan. He's not a gentleman like that. He would not fucking do that. Like, I'm just not going to sleep all fucking night to be your chauffeur, Caitlin Albert. Or you could just sleep there because your parents live there. It's like her whole story about why she left makes no sense whatsoever. And he gets her to admit, like, she got in the car, they backed out of the driveway, and then they were going to go south, so right past where John's body would have been. And so his lights would have just lit up that front lawn, you know? And she's like, so you were in the passenger seat closest to the yard. He's like, did you see any Did you see 45 pieces of red taillight? No. Did you see a shoe? No. Did you see a 6'2", 220-pound man lying in the front lawn? No. Why not? I was looking at Tristan. They were all looking left. All of them, every single person who left that house was looking left. All of them. And like, it's the same story that Julie Bagel tells, or was it Sarah Levinson tells that story. Jen McCabe tells the same story because they were all anyone sitting on the right-hand side of the car was looking left at that time. And I thought of something listening to it. I'm like, that didn't really resonate with the jurors. Like, you hear her say that, right? And then a week later, you hear Jennifer McCabe say it. And you almost wish you could just remind the jurors, like, bro, there 8 of these people left, and not a single one of them was looking in that direction. Not one. They were all looking left. Not a single one of them noticed a fucking body there. It didn't even, as if you can't turn your head, as if it's not like you're not like in general. You just my head's just stuck this way. I literally can't like fucking at all. It's just like, it's so absurd. And anytime that Yannetti or Jackson started getting somewhere with it, they would just shut off by objection, sustained, objection. It's just like they didn't let them have any fun. They didn't let them cook. The whole thing is bullshit. And I just looked, and I didn't think it mattered at the time because I'm like, you know what? They're still not gonna fucking cook. They're not stupid. As soon as the Joe Paul thing happened and the Arca guys, I'm like, that's the end of that. And then these motherfuckers still came back hung. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And I hate the foreman. The more I think about that guy asking, he's the one that wrote that stupid letter to the, we want our names impounded because they're going to say my identity. Bitch, I never said your identity. I never.
No, absolutely. That's 100%.
It would be a shame if your identity got out, but I ain't going to say it. So, crying little bitch. Yeah, it's like, I'm not trying to influence any of these people. It's like, oh, how about you come, don't you want to come forward after saying 10 weeks of this shit and just be like, yeah, by the way, we did acquit on murder. So that's.
So, Aidan, do you feel like, I have feelings and thoughts on this. Do you think that maybe there was some sort of infiltration into that jury, allegedly?
No, I don't think. No, I just think that the jury was too educated almost and too uppity. It was an uppity jury, and I think they looked down on Karen Reed for drinking and driving. I think that's all it comes down to, is they just judged her. The most effective thing that Lally did was the Bukkake testimony, where they like watch her buy 4 drinks and like, what is she doing there? Well, it appears as if she's buying a drink. Ooh, interesting. What's she doing here? It appears as if she's buying a drink. And she got 4 drinks like in an hour. No way she drank all 4 of those fucking drinks. No, nobody's doing that. I couldn't down that many drinks in an hour. Like, I guarantee one of those drinks she bought for somebody else, or she spilled. Who the fuck knows? We don't see her drinking any of those drinks, by the way. So I just think that the jury looked at her as a drunk driver, and a lot of them probably never drove drunk before. They were very uppity looking, a lot of these people, and I think they just looked down on her because of that.
So you think that they were hung up on those charges because they felt like she had to be held accountable for something? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I think that they think, well, she was just drunk. And when people get drinking and driving, they do stupid shit. And so, and it, for some fucking reason, they just ignored all this other shit. And they're like, well, and I do think a lot of it was, well, if I vote to acquit Karen Reed, I'm voting to convict Jennifer McCabe and Colin Albert. And I'm not 100% convinced Colin Albert was in the house. So I don't feel, but it's like, they're 2 separate things. There's a world in which you could be a juror in if Colin Albert was ever arrested and tried for this, there's a world in which you could vote to acquit Colin Albert and Karen Reed. Like, that can possibly happen, So I think that I think it's a stretch to say that these people were infiltrated somehow. I just think that the Commonwealth did a great job in spreading this thing out so that the jury forgot a lot of information. They couldn't, everything was if it wasn't in your notes, it didn't happen. Like, imagine going back to deliberate and one juror's notes say one thing and another juror's notes say another thing about testimony that happened 8 weeks ago. Like, they asked for the CERT team report. Why do you think they wanted to know that? Probably because there was some sort of disagreement about, wait a minute, was there taillight there? when they got there? Like, did they find, like, where was the taillight, and how did they, I guarantee there was some sort of conversation like that. But like, I could have sworn the Canton police said they didn't find any taillight. And because they're not allowed to go back and listen to transcripts and testimony, it's just whatever's in your fucking notebook. And half these people were falling asleep because it was so goddamn boring with Lally.
Yes. Do you think that he is genuinely a boring ass dial tone kind of a guy, or do you think that was some of that was manufactured with Lally?
No, that guy loves cheese sandwiches and coffee with no sugar. Like he is the most basic dude ever. Probably the most boring guy, and not fun at all. Like that's just Lally. He's just.
Did you struggle to stay awake in court when he was doing his stuff?
Yeah, there was many times where I'm like, I am so into this trial and I'm bored as shit right now. And I can't even listen to anything these people. I'm just like, especially during the criminalists, when they brought up like, I don't know what gender it was, they, them. I think Ashley Valère. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Like that one and the one before Maureen Hartnett. And it was the most boring shit, like about taillight. So how many pieces of taillight did you find in the bag? Well, I opened it up and there was 2 pieces in there. Oh, really? So tell us about this. Well, what was the bag? Color was the bag? Just like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, oh my God, we get it. You planted taillight. We fucking get it.
But so I feel like some of that fluff of Lally's was strategic because it bamboos. I feel like that all that extraneous stuff, like unnecessary filler, sort of had the effect of bamboozling the jury.
Yeah, I think that the jury at the end of it, I mean, I could see them saying, well, they had 68 witnesses. That's a lot of witnesses. But what they don't realize is like most of those witnesses, if you go back and listen to their testimony helped Karen Read. Like, I don't know why they called Nicholas Barros from the Dighton Police Department. I don't fucking know why. Because that dude said that the taillight was cracked, not like destroyed. He made sure to say that. I don't know why they called the Kolakithises. Like, they like Karen Read. They were with Karen Read outside court, like with the supporters and shit. Like, yes. How the fuck would they call those two? And the dude goes like, yeah, my wife told me, why can't you be as affectionate as John O'Keefe is to Karen? Like, I wish you were like that. Like, they love, and the Kolakithis wife, she made sure to say that like Jen was trying to separate Karen from John. Like that was the big part of her testimony. That was really shady, that Jen was trying to separate Karen from John. So I don't know why the fuck they call, like, why did they call Kurt Roberts just to complain about Kerry? You know, like why did they, Mike Camerano, Katie Camerano, none of them had, even Paul and Aaron O'Keefe, none of them had bad things to say about Karen. And so maybe they just looked at the volume of witnesses that they had and they're like, well, they only called 6 and they got 60 something. So they got to be right.
Yeah, maybe. But at the end of the day, when they went back to deliberate, the jury went back to deliberate, it just blows my mind that regardless, like even if let's pretend that the crash daddies weren't there. So, but everything else, every single witness, as you've just said, Commonwealth witnesses ended up being defense witnesses. I just don't understand how the jury didn't have in their mind like a stack of reasonable doubt that when they all got back into that deliberation room to deliberate, that they didn't go like snowed under, pun intended, by all of that reasonable doubt. It's wild to me. That's why I think
there was so much reasonable doubt. Number one, it's scary that people are so willing to just be like, yeah, guilty, knowing that the punishment is going to be like potentially decades in prison. Just not, like, how do you sleep at night? Like, you're that fucking sure she did it? Like, what? That's crazy. And secondly, it's like, how the fuck did none of them vote guilty on murder? Like, when you think about it, you're like, so if you believe that she hit him with the car, which is fucking insane, it's a lot harder for me to believe, like, the testimony of the Sullivan sluts and whatnot and the kids, that they did a better job of proving motive, that she was angry, than they did that she actually hit him with the car. And so, like, I think that, like, that's a crazy thing to me, is that none of you guys, like, you guys think she did it, but none of you think she did it on purpose. What the fuck? So it was an accident? Who the fuck goes 24 miles an hour in reverse on accident? Like, what? That makes no fucking sense. Like, to me, manslaughter is the most ridiculous thing. Like, either give me murder or give me nothing. It makes no sense.
I mean, I'm sure mostly everybody I know have watched your very scientific experiment of reversing in daylight in summer, I think, on out front of 34th Fairview. That looked hectic. It felt hectic?
Yeah, it was like a roller coaster. Like, it was scary. Like, I hit the fucking curb the first time. I was like, and I'm like, I didn't even realize it. I'm like, Richie's like, you're on the curb. I'm like, fuck. Oh shit, they're gonna not like me because it curves there, and you're like, okay, I got to 14 the first time, and then the second time I knew better. Karen didn't get a second time; she had to get it right on her first time, and did 17, and then the third time I just gunned that shit, and it was scary. Like the engine revs, and you're like, fuck, if I just like jerk the wheel the wrong way, am I going to get in the skid? It's not natural to go more than 10 miles an hour or like 7 or 8 miles an hour in reverse. So to go 24 miles an hour, which they had to believe she did if they found her guilty of manslaughter, how could she not be guilty of murder then? Like, that's the part that I didn't get out. That's the first thing I said when I did that test is like, if she did this, she's a fucking psychopath. Like what I just did, like that you don't do that on accident. And so I don't get the whole like, well, we'll just call it fucking manslaughter. It makes no sense to me.
And I think as well, like with so Shorty, I don't know if you've given it a crack, but it's 38 kilometers.
Right? Oh, mate, I got to about 10. I got to about 10. And I was like, no, I'm out.
Shit myself, right? And I've got a new car, like 2023, and it's got, it's a Subaru, but it's got all the things, it's got like the anti-braking and not the anti-braking, whatever, you know what I mean? And yeah, my car like was almost like, what the fuck, Lil? Like, slow down. Like, what are you doing, mofo? Like, we don't do this. We're gonna like run.
Someone's been watching Shaun of the Gulf.
Pardon?
Someone's been watching Shaun of the Gulf.
Yeah, he actually came on my show a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, he did. I missed it.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, he is amazing. What a beautiful man. Yeah, I love him. I love all of you. Yeah. So yeah, no, that was a real treasure to have him on, and I think I'm going to be back on his channel in a little bit, so that's exciting. But anyway, yeah, so like the reversing in obviously we talk in kilometers an hour. It's like nuts. It's next level. And I've seen other people on YouTube that have tried to do it aside from you, Aidan, and like blokes that are sort of, they've got no fucks to give, and they're like, yeah, I've been doing burnouts for 20 years, if anyone can do it, I can do it. It's kind of like a bit of a masculinity kind of check. And I'm multiple guys that have just said, no fucking way. And then how you've got little Karen who's like mousy, and she's a psycho murderer because she tells her boyfriend that's going to clearly fight Higgins. And that's I'll go on off on a rant here, but I personally think, sure, Higgins said, are you coming? They were invited. But in my opinion, I think John went there to fight. And I also think, or at least to confront Higgins. Yeah, fucking oath. I mean, you look at the waterfall video, right?
Wouldn't he have told Karen that? Wouldn't he have said something to Karen about that? Like on the way?
Well, see, I guess this is where you've got a little bit more of a understanding because you've talked to Karen and you're so much closer to, I guess, the back end behind the curtains of the case. But yeah, the question I would love to ask Karen is, did you know that Higgins, how can, she's really intelligent. How did she not read the room at the waterfall and then the arguments or whatever they had in the car between the waterfall and Albert's house? In my opinion, it was either John didn't tell her the truth by saying, you know what, I'm going to go and confront the asshole, or he just went, I'm going. And she, I don't know. I just feel like I would have read the room as a woman, and been like, no, don't go there. You're pissed. He's pissed. You guys are going to get, like, do not start shit. We're not talking anymore. The kiss meant nothing. You're coming home with me, right? If you go in there, I'm going. And you can forget it. We're done. And that's what I think happened. But nothing, the only person that would know that is Karen.
Yeah, I mean, she believes that it was an ambush. Like, I know, like, she believes that this was not, that this, they invited him there to tune him up and that John walked right into it.
But I think he wanted to as well, Aidan. I think he wanted to. If you really analyze, which I have that waterfall video, like, to the nth degree, he's ready to go. Even like where he, I've got it on my YouTube, where he takes that the glass he walks out with, he takes a sip, he finishes his beer, then he picks up his cocktail glass, he takes a sip, he looks right, he looks left at Matt McCabe and Kolakithis, and then he walks out. And that's after he's done, the fighting, boom, boom, boom. So he went out ready and thought, I'm going to go there and I'm going to confront them. So I don't think he went there thinking you're going to have a nice time at the party. I think, with Auntie JJ and
Auntie
Auntie JJ and Brian Abbott Jr. Auntie JJ.
Julie Nagel called her that JJ. Like, oh my God!
I need you, Aidan, I need you to do your Brian Albert Jr. impersonation, Aidan. It's so good. It's so good.
Auntie JJ. So, she brought me my donuts because Auntie JJ always comes, and then Auntie Julie came, and then she brought me my donuts because it's a tradition.
And you have to do Jill Daniels impersonation.
I am just like I got shit.
That's so much. I was even saying before that I didn't finish, like the fact that Grant is Wendy Murphy, is a real person, and he's actually Wendy Murphy's son. And then there's like, Turtleboy is the guy that uncovered the crime. I was talking to a mate this morning on the phone, and I said, I'll call you after lunch. I'm going live at 11. And he said, what is it? And I said, it sounds retarded, but I'm going live with Turtleboy and a friend in Melbourne. And he's like, Turtleboy does sound retarded. But I'm like, I know, but he's like, the only reason that I follow this case, and he's like, freaking amazing. And then I'm like, he's exposed to this corruption. He's like famous investigative reporter in Boston. People, as soon as you say Turtleboy, people kind of go, huh? Like, is this a grown man? Is this a
yeah? People never heard of it before, yeah.
But it's once you learn about you, and that's what I've said to people. And I know there's someone that's watching now that's literally been turned around in a couple of months. I sent him your way kind of thing. And he said, yeah, I'm not a huge fan. And I said, I didn't think you would be, but you need to give him a chance. And if he turns around and tells me he's not a turtle-roo now.
He's not.
I think he is, Lily. I think he is.
He's a bloody turtle-roo. And I've told him over and over, he's just got to listen to me. But, yeah, I send people your way all the time because you are a legend. And I think just.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you are. And you have actually, this is not about me, but I've wanted to tell you this for ages, and I know I've tried to on social media and stuff in posts.
Oh my God, Lily's going to fangirl. Go, go, girl, go.
Yeah, I am a fangirl, 100%.
Yes,
but I was in a really shitty place when I found you as well. I was having a shitty time. And I laughed until I cried watching your Canton Cover-Up series. So much so because I hadn't heard of you or the Karen Reid case. And the way that I like to go into true crime, I wanted to binge, and I don't like to. It's like reading the end of a book first. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to watch all this, and this is awesome. I have got days, weeks of content to just kind of lose myself in, and so yeah, I vividly remember when it kind of. The alarm went off and I was like, holy shit, he's in jail. Like, so it was in the middle of you being in jail that I kind of found.
Oh, that's when you found, that's right. You were telling me that when I was in jail.
Yeah. So
I told Sean on the golf that I did watch that episode. I did watch that episode where you and Sean. I told Sean that.
I thought you did actually, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, now I remember it. Yeah. That's wild. I mean, I still can't believe I went to jail. That's still fucking, I still can't believe that shit happened. Like I did a blog about a guy today that Kevin Reddington represents. He strangled his wife. It's like I was in the same place as that fucking guy. It's like I didn't hurt anyone. Like who did I hurt? Like I didn't do any. I literally did. Like you're in jail, and like everybody in jail says they didn't do anything. Oh, I didn't do nothing. I'm innocent. It's like I really didn't. Like I really fucking didn't. I didn't touch anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. Nobody got hurt because of me. I went to Jennifer McCabe's lacrosse game. I guess you can't do that. I don't know. I protested outside of Chris Albert's pizza shop. I guess that was a no-no. I don't know. I guess that makes me a really bad person. The state police fugitive unit had to come to my house, but it's all catching up.
No, if you're in Chris Albert's eyesight, it's just not allowed. You're not allowed to be in Chris Albert's
eyesight.
He is Canton royalty after all. He's the king of Canton, isn't he?
I mean, he was. But when you think about it, it's like, what's he got left? Like he was king shit before because he had two brothers who were cops. Well, they ain't really cops anymore. Brian's retired and he moved to Norwood, and Kevin's not working because he's couldn't find his badge or his gun. He left it drunk in Proctor's car. So what's he really got now? I mean, he's got Fredo still. He's got a pool, so that's good. Other than that, I don't know what. I mean, he's got Jim Ferris and roast beef Ronnie. Other than that, I don't really know what he's got going on there.
He's got nothing going on. He's an absolute he's definitely on the.
He's a loser.
Neurodivergent, to the
Hey.
So am I. But I mean,
we all are.
Yeah,
I hate him the most of all the McAlberts. I hate Chris the most, followed by Jen. I just fucking hate him. He's just such a slimy little bitch.
He really is.
Oh my God.
Really is.
Today I got kicked out of court on February 26th because she showed up with the order and I had to get up and leave. And I walk out and Chris is standing at the door and he's got this big smile on his face. He's like, "That's a bitch, huh?" It's like he couldn't fucking wait for them. I'm like, "You little fucking cocksucker." Oh, he's just such a little I saw what you said to the grand jury, Chris, crying about, it's hurting me feelings and blah blah blah. And then you're here like a big fucking tough guy. They're just such pieces of shit. I hate them.
Yeah, they really are. Actually, sorry, Shorty. You go.
No.
I was just gonna ask what it's like to, because, and it kind of piggybacks off of what I was saying before. Shorty, you can probably relate. But because it kind of all seems so far away, and I feel so detached from it, right? Being on the other side of the world. Am I breaking up?
No,
you did a little bit, but you're good now.
Oh,
are you there? Oh, a little bit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Do you want to go out and come back in?
Yeah. What's it? Okay, you go.
No, you go. You're good. Oh, no, be my guest.
No, I'm not. No.
Okay, you can go out and come back in.
I'll come back in.
Yeah. Aidan, I had a question from one of my beautiful moderator friends, Jen. She was wanting to know, how did you keep things running in jail while you're in jail? I know, but tell everyone.
So, I have a great support team, and, I made sure when I turned myself in that I didn't have my phone with me or my computer. I kept them with my dad. And so I had my dad meet up with some people that were willing to kind of take over my social media while I was in jail. And so they just took my phone, they took my computer, and I'm logged into everything. And so every day I got nothing to do all day. So I got a notebook and a pen, and I would just write stories in my notebook, and people would send me updates every day about what was going on, because you get to, send messages and stuff like that. And so I would keep informed that way. And I made time go by faster by writing. And then I would call them up, because you get unlimited phone calls in jail now. And you just call them up and you just dictate. And it would take an hour for me to dictate the whole thing. Well, they would type it in and they would, share it and post it on my social media. And I published 40 blogs in jail. So, and I went on the Galera show one night, on day, that was a scary one. I went on day 25. They shut off our phones at 10, but I heard Will was on with Olivia Nile and Orlando. And yes. I'm like, let's fucking call. I'm going to call. I had Will's number. So I called him and he didn't answer the first time. And then, so I called somebody else. I'm like, come the fucking answer. And then they're in the comments, answer, Turtleboy's calling. So I call and then he picks up and I'm like, what's going on, motherfuckers? It was and then, that scared me a little bit, because I'm like, my lawyer the next day was like, and a week, 5 days later, they tried to take away my phone privileges. Cause I made some comment on there that Mello was like, oh, you said you're dangerous. And I did say it. I'm like, when I get out of here, I'm going to be dangerous to the establishment. And then, but these people like to just clip shit. And they're like, you said he's going to be dangerous. Yeah, right. Okay, sure thing. But that's how it got done.
I saw when you came out of jail and you looked so like overwhelmed, and just it must have been an incredible moment, but with your folder of all your loose pages and stuff. I mean, how was that feeling walking out of there?
Oh, it was tough, man. When I got, it was a weird feeling. when I found, because they indicted me that day, and I thought they're going to try to lock me back up. They asked for $10,000 bail. Luckily, I mean, we would have figured out a way to pay it, but luckily they just had no bail. And so you're like free, and I'm like, and my lawyer's like, do not go outside yet. And he's like, just trust me. And so I sat down, and I was crying. Like, I was crying because I didn't cry at all in jail, not once. I cried when I was going to get released, and I'm like, because it's like you can't see you like this right now. And because there was a lot emotionally to take in, like, I'm fucking free, holy shit. And then, you know, when I went out there, like, you see the video, I'm like trying not to, I'm holding everything in, and I don't want to say too much. I don't want to like start my revenge tour yet. You know, I don't want to like I just wanted to see my kids. Like, that's all I want to do. I wanted to get home. And you know, I met Meredith. Basically, I didn't meet her. I talked to her before this, but her and I started talking, you know, while I was in jail, and she visited me twice a week towards the end, and you know, we talked every day, and like, so the first time I got to, you know, to kiss her, and it was actually in the Norfolk. I didn't want to do it in front of the whole crowd, so Richie drove me to. It was like a fucking mob out there, and it was amazing, like great people, except for Grant. And got in his car, and we drove back to the Norfolk County House of Corrections to get some of my shit. And I met her in the parking lot. It was our first kiss. It was really romantic. It was in a parking lot. And yeah, the rest
That's
is
so sweet. Yes. Wow. And so, yeah, I saw Meredith. She's amazing. The last time court was on, and that gender reveal of Meredith and Karen having a hug in court was so lovely.
Yes, that was lovely. It was great to see. Great to see.
Another question that I've been wondering about. People have a problem with you slurping on your drink. I really don't. Like, do you realize, do you slurp more just to piss people off? Because
No,
I feel
it's always been this way. So I don't know. Like, I literally do it every episode. I always drink it to the bottom. I get every last. I'm not wasting anything, so I slurp. I don't know if people have a problem with that. I'm a slurper, so I didn't even know. Like, yeah. Some people are really mad about it. Like in the comments, they're like, it's really rude. I'm like, oh, it gets a lot worse. You might want to unsub.
Some people just get so shirty about stupid things. Here, slurp now. Go.
No, I got enough left. So we're like probably this much left. So it's coming soon, I think.
That's funny. So what do you think Bev's going to do? And when do you think she's going to do it?
Good question. It's been a week. She could have denied it by now. I think that's a good sign. You know, it's like she could have been like, she could have denied it that day. First of all, she wasn't going to do it that day, but like, it's been a full week. If she wanted to deny it, she could. She is doing her legal research on this, figuring it out. She doesn't want to be the person that gets overruled on such a monumental decision. Like, that is really like a liberal cause, because she's a liberal. I mean, she was she did indigent, like poor people. Like, she was when she was an attorney, she was a defense attorney for people who couldn't afford attorneys, basically. And so people like that tend to be more liberal when it comes to criminal justice reform. They don't want to be the person that makes a person who's already been acquitted of murder do it all over again, and then they get overturned by the Supreme Court. Like, so she's going to take her time up. She wants to fuck Karen over because she hates Karen Reed. Like, let's be real here. That whole comment about like something funny, Miss Reed. Oh, what a cunt. You know, so she hates Karen, and she would love to fuck her over, but she also is concerned about her own reputation, I think, and how this looks. So we'll see.
Yeah. You find a better spot for your Wi-Fi there, Lil?
Hey, no, there's something wrong with my laptop. I've got a new Mac. I just need to go and pick it up. So anyway, sorry.
You were going to ask a question before you.
Yes.
I think it was just me, like, kind of ask. Yeah, it seems like feel so detached from reality. Really, you know, it's your reality, and it's thousands of people's reality, I suppose. But certainly for you and, you know, the Canton Nine and Meredith and, you know, like Paul and Tracy and Dana and obviously Karen. But yeah, all of the people that are there, all, you know, every day and actually involved in the case. It's your life. Like, yeah, I guess it's to ask what's it really like, is Lally real? Like, and how funny. Yeah, I guess we watch it from a perspective that it's almost like we're just watching TV. Yeah, so it's like,
it has made a lot of people famous, this whole thing. Like Karen Reed can't go out in public now without being mobbed. Like she's more popular and like she gets more people know who she is than know who I am. You know what I mean? Like she can't, and she's beloved everywhere she goes. Just a couple jackoffs here and there don't like her. For the most part, everybody supports Karen Reed. She's extremely likable. She does a really good job of branding herself, as a likable person.
Yeah.
And so it's like that. And I do wonder, like, when Lally goes out to dinner, do people boo him? They must, because that happens to the McAlberts now. Like Jill is banned from Shipwrecked in Falmouth. Like the McAlberts are banned from was a place called Limey's in Norwood. It's got to be, if you're those people, you can only go to like friendly places that that like people aren't going to give a shit here.
Yeah, that's right. And it's even, I think, like next level to try and explain pretty much my life for the last 6 months to people around me, like, my friends, my family. I get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed when people are like, "Oh, so what's it about?" The Karen Reed, and I'm just like,
where do you start?
Like, if you've got 12 hours to sit and like let me show you things, and it's even then it would so it's almost like, I don't know, it just,
that's why it was like that for me too. Even with my family, it was like that too. Like, they followed her, but they don't really follow that close or anything until the trial started. And then everyone was glued to their TVs. I just knew, like, people, my brothers and sisters, like, we didn't really talk about this Karen Reed case that much before until the trial started. And then it's like, did you see Higgins today? Did you hear oh my God, did you hear this testimony? Oh my God. Like, everybody who wasn't that into it before, once the trial started, they couldn't stop watching. It was just amazing theater. They're like, I am so happy it happened, because it was great entertainment, for 10 weeks of this shit. Like, I still can't believe we went through with this. I was sitting there watching the trial, like, they really are doing this? Like, this is wild. And then to not get the, acquittal, it's like, bro, were we not watching the same shit? Like, so I think in round 2, I think that they should pick a more blue collar jury. I think is this was too elitist, this jury, just looking at them. I think they overdid it by trying to pick people who were extremely smart. And they thought that, like, because smart people will see through this, but I think they were just a little elitist and kind of looked down at her for drinking and driving. And I just think, because if you look at Karen's supporters, like, out there, they're regular people, right? They're blue collar people. They're regular, and they get it. Regular folk just get it. And like, we don't have a lot of uppity people out there on our side. We just have regular, everyday people out there. And so I think when they pick a jury next time, they should be cognizant of that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And I have said that about you and like Rita and, Mike, the young jerks, and Tom, all like every day, like Tom, for example, driving into court every day, Erica, and, I'd see him park the car and be approached by people that were locals that just like lived in the area, were walking their dog. And I remember once a lady came up to Tom just as he parked his car and just said, "Oh, hi, my name's such and such. I just live around the corner. I just wanted to thank you guys for always making sure that, there's no rubbish on the ground. You clean up, I'm not a part of what you're doing, but, the respect that you show is really appreciated." And I think that's such a big deal, and such a huge thing to do every day and to kind of manage. And yeah, it just seems so. I think Tom CPU is underrated in such a major way, in terms of, I don't know like how he did it every morning. I mean, I was exhausted watching it in bed every night, let alone like, the resources and the time and the emotional effort and the back and forth and organizing people and making sure that you're following the rules and you're not pissing the cops off, but you're not, but you're there for Karen every morning and I think such an incredible community, Aidan. And I have said it, and I don't care if it sounds like I'm blowing smoke, because I am, but it's yours. It's your movement. And the people, like I said in that Facebook post a few months ago, I thought you had me at Lally's shoes, but you had me the moment that, you know, I saw you go from the courthouse to the, I don't know, whatever they call the truck that you go to jail in. And Tom was filming, and there was just, the street was full of your supporters. And I had a tear, you know, I was like, holy shit, you know, look what this guy is doing. And you do, you know, they're counting on you. No
Is that one where I smiled and yelled at the crowd? That one?
Yeah.
Justice.
Yeah. That was the first time I saw you live, because I discovered you while you're in jail, right? And I remember like looking, anticipating a glimpse of you, like, is he real? Like, and then all the supporters, I was watching with Tom, and all the supporters just like cheering, and all the emotion and the pride and the appreciation.
That was my happiest day in jail, was that day, just coming home. I looked forward to court because you get to get out of jail, and you know you're going to be with your people there. And just, I was only in court for like 10 seconds. It was just a quick in and out thing, and just seeing the sea of supporters who were all sitting there, and just when the guards came in and they're like, yeah, we're going to get going now. You're fucking, there's a lot of fucking people out there. And I went out there, and it was like the fucking Beatles, man. Like, it was crazy. It just exploded. These people went nuts. And I just had the biggest smile on my face. And I left there and went back to jail. And I was like the happiest prisoner when I got back. I'm like, I was on cloud 9. It felt really good.
Yeah, I saw it, beaming out of your face. And I thought, and then, sorry, Shorty, I'll finish in a second. And then, so that was when I was like, I love this dude. Oh, and I love this community and those people that have got your back, you know, like they've got your back. But they've got each other's backs, right? It's not, yeah, they've got each other's backs. And I think it's a super special, you know, I can't wait to get over there and meet everybody, because it's, yeah. And then the way that you would go to the effort of, going and meeting all the Free Karen Reid crowd every court morning and day, you know, you'd go out there. You would be exhausted as well. You know, you're working in court.
That's my favorite part, is meeting people. And, you know, I love that.
Genuine. Shit. You're authentic about it. It's not like you think, oh, yeah, fuck, here we go. Yeah, Turtleboy, woo, photo.
Yeah, and I never say no. It's like I'll never say no to, unless I'm like really, like I got to get in court. It's a deadline or some shit. You know, but like I'll never, like I'm happy to do it. Like I'm honored to have the fact that there's anyone out there that would be interested in taking a picture with me. I'll never say no.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But I think you've done, well done, and congratulations. And you should be super proud of what you're doing. You're in the right place doing what you should be doing. And there's my Ted.
Well, thank you. You're too nice.
Somebody asked, what's the story about Lally's shoes? They missed that episode. I think it was Brazilian girl.
Lally's shoes, go, Turtleboy. Tell them all about it.
No, you tell them. You remember it better than I do.
No, you just used to pay out Lally's shoes every time, like in pre-trial hearings.
Yeah.
I've got it saved somewhere. There's one in particular where you're just like, look at him. Look at his fucking shoes. Look at his fucking shoes. And it's just those little things. I've got so many little clips. It's like the clip with you where you get angry at Morrissey after his, hostage video.
Oh, that was not good. I was really mad when that happened.
Where you're like, decent? Oh, decent.
I'm going to shove the First Amendment up your fucking ass. I was so fired up. Well, after that August 25th press release last year, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker. Oh, that should have been the warning sign that, like, they're coming after. Like, that was from me. That whole press conference, he was talking to me. Like, you better cut the fucking shit. You know, he kept calling them witnesses. And, like, now I see it, the writing on the wall. It's like witness intimidation. They had this planned ever since the rolling rally. Like, they were just like, we're going to get this guy. And I honestly, the driving force behind this is fucking crusty panties. Like, there's no way Brian Tully watched 300 hours of my goddamn show. He didn't do it. Like, it takes an obsessive person who just hates me to just sit there and clip all this shit I said on YouTube out of context and just send it to the police, because they didn't do that shit themselves. They ain't watching all this. Like, so they worked with shitty people to, you know, censor and frame me, and it didn't work the way they planned. I mean, they have built a little bit of a pushback that wasn't really there a year ago. We didn't get much pushback, and now there is some Smurf people out there. But they are breaking down. Like the Food Stamp 5, I don't know if you guys are on Twitter right now, is in chaos right now. Like Food Stamp 5 is like Food Stamp 2.5 now. It's like they've gone away the Beatles. They are breaking up, and it's glorious. I'm just sitting back here watching. I don't care who wins. I'm not trying to be. I'm not one of these opportunistic people that would be like, well, come on my side. Nah, I'm just gonna watch this whole shit because I hate Grant and I hate Krusty, and I think you're all pieces of shit. And so fight, let them fight. That's what I say.
Yeah, if someone said, I feel bad that I've forgotten their Twitter name now. Yeah, they're eating each other.
Yeah, but it was bound to happen. I mean, like relationships.
Microdot said that. Microdot did that circle with the snake eating its tail, and wasn't that him?
Oh, no, this was one yesterday where I think it's Say What? Username Say What?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it was just funny. Said that they're eating each other, and they are. They're eating each other. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Relationships that are like formed out of a mutual hatred of one random guy called Turtleboy are not relationships that are built to last. Like these people are all volatile by nature. They're all duplicitous. They're all snakes. They're all conniving. Eventually, they'll do it to each other. You just have to sit back and let them do it.
That's right. And I think it's so unsustainable, right? I mean, doing something truly meaningful, like being a part of Free Karen Read, is sustainable. Karen Read will be freed one day officially, but there's a domino effect to that, right? Because there's so much more to come as a result of the Free Karen Read movement. So it's a sustainable, meaningful movement, whereas we hate Turtleboy because, he doesn't like me.
Well, they all have their own story. Like the Food Stamp 5, every single one of them, like, oh, I can tell you the story about this one and this one, and that's when this one. 4 of them were Free Karen Read for some time. Like anybody who switched like from Free Karen Read to Karen Read is guilty is some of the most craziest people out there, because it's like, bro, as more shit came out, you went to that side. Like I could understand being on the Karen Read is guilty side and then coming to us. That makes sense because you might trust law enforcement and think the idea of a cover up is fucking wild. And then the more comes out and you're like, oh, actually, it's kind of hard to deny this. But like it was kind of undeniable from the beginning. And then as more time went on, you learned about the federal fucking investigation and all these text messages and the butt dials. And you're like, and that made you switch to the Karen Read is guilty side? The fuck, you're all crazy. You're all nuts. You're all crazy.
Yeah.
I think when you've got character flaws like all those folks seem to have, if you don't have any strong moral compass and you don't have any real sense of what's right and wrong, then obviously you're not going to have solidarity in your cohesiveness. It's always going to crumble because those people just fuck each other over and do their own things always.
It's not built to last. They're all nuts.
And then there's Plevin, who's just he's just Plevin.
I mean, the ratings aren't good for Plevin, which is he kind of thinks is like a badge of honor. That to him, Plevin thinks his low ratings are indicative that actually he's the smart one. See, I only get 1,000 people listen to my show, and Turtleboy gets 50,000. See, he's the mindless mob leader, and I'm actually the intellectual one. But only 1,000 people know how smart I am, and 50,000 people are fucking stupid. Actually, as it turns out, like he literally takes his low ratings as a badge of honor. And by the way, go back and listen to Plevin's really early shit. I'm talking like April, May of 2023. He was licking my balls, like he was loving Turtleboy. He was like, Turtleboy is a really good investigative journalist, actually. He's getting to the bottom of things. Is this a cover-up? I don't really know. And I got sick of Kevin. I eventually called him a fence sitter. I'm like, bro, Kevin, Karen Read didn't do this. Like, just from watching your videos, like, you appreciate my reporting. You're saying good things about me. You know something's up about this. Enough with the fence sitting, because he wouldn't join one side or another. And then me calling him a fence sitter, that's what propelled him to be like, Karen Read's actually guilty, mindless mob, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I think the people in the chat in that show kind of went at him, and that was when it was all, okay, Turtleboy is mean. Everyone that follows Turtleboy sucks because they agreed with him about being a fence sitter. So now I'm going to go over here. And then he told Sean on the golf to get fucked or shut the fuck up or whatever. And it just kind of went, thing is, Plevin actually gets way more views than he thinks, because 5,000 people watch him on the Glera every week. So
That's true. That's true. I mean, I had this thing where I wouldn't even recognize him because he's just kind of beneath me. I shouldn't even talk about people like that. And I still can't believe they have him on Court TV every night. I can't say I've ever watched it, but I'm just like, is this a joke? Is this like the Cartoon Network I'm watching? Plevin is on there. Like, seriously, bro, this is the best that you could come up with. And it's just like, but you know what? YouTube has outdone television. Like, nobody watches TV anymore. People just go on YouTube and they watch the Glare. You know, they do the circuit, the LTL, go through it one after another. There's a million shows where you can consume content on the Karen Reed case. And if you want, like, you could go on Emily D. Baker's, or I found the lawyer, during the Karen Reed trial. I listen to him every day. There's a little recap there of his 1 hour recap of the show. It's a good way to kind of take it all back in. And so,
yeah, he's really straight to the point, and he's obviously a neutral, but he's good. Like, Peter's awesome.
He knows. He's neutral technically, but he knows.
He's neutral, but his whole market, like his target market, his brand, if you like, is to come on. He does quick recaps, but he knows what he's talking about. He's really knowledgeable. He's fucking hot, and he gets, he gives that real to the point kind of. So yeah, even I still watch him every day, because he gives. But then you've got the deep dives and the ones that are in the courtroom. Like with Melanie Little, I've been watching trials with her, the Boss Baby one, because that's what I love. Like really watching every single bit of every single trial, and then having someone, especially like Melanie, who's so intelligent and gorgeous and funny, and her community is amazing too. So yeah, it's I forget what
it's great to have her on our side. She did an awesome rant the day that I was kicked out of court about just how un-American it was. I'm like, oh, I fucking loved it. It was like, that was one of my favorite Melanie rants of all time. Go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah, I will. I'll have to have another listen. But yeah, you've got to invite her on your show.
I don't think she wants to come on, to be honest.
I think you need I needed to talk to you about this, and I'm glad that we're doing it in person, because you're wrong. So you just need to look. It's time to be a big boy, Aidan, and you need to ask her. But
I've emailed. I don't get an email back.
No,
I think you say cunt too much for her.
I think.
Do you know how no way, she went on with Elle last week.
It's funny because
it wasn't that titillating.
So we had, like, I started watching her when I was in jail. I saw her whole thing with the bite guy, Garrett Wing, and I'm like, well, that was amazing. And then when I got out, I searched her name on my emails, and we had spoken 2 days before I got arrested about coming on my show, actually. Like, we were going to, and it just never happened because I got arrested. And I think her official stance has kind of been since then that, like, I'm not going to have him on my show until his charges go away, because I don't want him. And I've had other law tubers say this too, that, like, they don't feel comfortable having me on until my charges go away, because for my own protection. But it's like, what they don't understand is, like, I'm kind of the unique client where, most criminal defendants are not supposed to talk. I have to talk. It's my job.
Well, I'll rephrase. Ask her on your show. You ask her to come on your show, but also particularly, that's actually, sorry, it does piggyback into what I did want to ask you and congratulate you on as well, personally, is, the addition of Mark Betterow on your defense
How
team.
Awesome is he? How great is
How amazing. I love him. He's such a, I mean, everyone loves him, right? He's taken the YouTube world by storm. Everyone loves him. Everyone could, he had a great show yesterday with Glera. I don't know if you've watched it. Like, it was so good. He can just kind of adapt to anybody. I've had him on my show. He's a legend, man. You have really, like, you've struck gold there with him on your team.
I mean, I found him on YouTube, and I'm like, this guy's fucking so sharp. I'm like, I would love to have a guy like this added to our and, like, in my case, it's like, you need more than one lawyer. There's too much shit.
Yeah.
There's too much shit. And you need somebody that's, like, in the YouTube world who because every day there's something new and that you got to keep up with. So, like, if you're not living on the internet like we are, and, like, Mark, clearly he's very active on the internet, you're missing shit every day, and then you got to get brought up to speed. So I needed another attorney on my team who kind of lives in this world, and he happens to be extremely sharp. And so I'm very happy to have Mark on.
And specializes in wrongful conviction, right? Like, I mean, he's not that you're convicted and you won't be, but yeah, he's got some remarkable stories to tell. Holy shit, I rate him. I love him. Yeah, he's amazing. He's client on Twitter.
He just had that big not guilty case. The fuck did that woman do? It was the woman.
Yeah. Forget her name.
But it was a big one, And then that other guy, Guica, is that his name? Guica.
So that's the series I'm about to start. So I had him on my channel to talk about John Duca's case, and I'm going to do like a long form because there's so much. I mean, he was convicted in 2005, and he's still sitting in prison in New York. He had a conviction overturned, and he's still sitting in prison. It's it's a travesty. It's an absolute travesty, and it all actually started from a corrupt DA's office, DA Charles Hines in the Brooklyn DA office back in the early 2000s, a corrupt prosecutor, jury misconduct. Like, it's a wild story. So I hope you tune in. It'll probably end up being about a 10-episode series. I'll have Mark back on.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. And yeah, John is gorgeous. He's beautiful. He's still sitting in prison today. Yeah. And he's innocent.
I know what that's like on a much smaller scale. I did 60 days and it seemed like an eternity. So I can imagine what that's like.
Yeah, 20 years.
Sorry, Lily. In prison, jail, were you doing like exercise? Because you're a gym kind of a guy, yeah?
Yeah, and so that's one thing. I'm like, I can't get fat in here. I can't just sit around. I have to come out of this better than I came in. And so I lift weights and stuff like that a lot when I'm out. And you can't do that. Obviously, they don't have like anything like that in jail. So I made sure every morning I ran. I did on this basketball court. I would do 17 laps around. It's 1 mile. And it was in the winter and I was in there. So it was like icy sometimes. I didn't give a shit. Every single day I ran. I would do 7 or 8 miles a day on there. And then do a bunch of pull-ups, shower, and then nighttime recess. I would go and I would do there was like this cot. I would do like 500 step-ups onto it, and then just 250 push-ups. And I lost like 10 pounds in jail. I mean, it was actually really good for my health. And so I'm kind of miss it sometimes. I miss the food, like the regiment of it all. But, I came out of it healthier than I went in. So there's that.
Was the bed comfortable?
No, it's fucking horrible. It wasn't even a bed. It's like give you this roll up thing. It rolls up. And then you lay it down and it's just fucking air mattress. Like it's like except no air in it. And then it hurt your back, man. Like after I'm like, I can't believe these guys sleep on this the rest of the, like if you're in for life, you sleep on the fucking life. I'm like, no fucking way. It was terribly uncomfortable. There wasn't a single night there where I slept through the night. Like every fucking night I would wake up at like, I don't know what time it was because you don't have a watch or anything. And you have a iPad, not an iPad, but some sort of tablet, but it's charging with the CO and you can't get it. So I would wake up every day and be like, I have no fucking clue what time it is. I know at 5:30, the nurse is going to come in here and give me my meds. And that means 30 more minutes till breakfast gets here. And so that's how I knew it. Like when the nurse came in, that's how I knew it was 5:30. But other than that, I had no fucking clue what time it was. And it was just, I remember there wasn't a single day where the nurse was the person who woke me up. I never slept through the night once because it fucks with your head, man. Like I probably have some PTSD from this shit, going in there and like the fear, like my first night out when I got back, you should be all excited, whatever. And, I went back, to my house and I filmed this because I wanted my dad to get it on tape just for the records, for the archives and, going in and, I didn't tell my kids I was coming home. They thought I was at work. And so I came in and my son was very excited. He's like, Daddy, he like went nuts. And it just, my daughter, I remember seeing her and it was just like, it was just like, not seeing you for 60 days. It's like, they're like, you're like, where you been, And then you take them out. It took like a good couple days there, or maybe even a couple weeks to get reacclimated to life. And I was like their father. And like my first night there, you know, I obviously got divorced after this, obviously. And, you know, but the first night there, we made an agreement. I'm just going to sleep on a couch because where the fuck else am I going to go? And so I went there and tried to freaking sleep and I couldn't. I just kept looking at pictures of my kids on the wall and being like, I can't ever go back. Like, and I started having these thoughts like, maybe I should stop. Maybe I should, nothing like, is this worth it? Like, I can't be separated from them ever again. It can't happen. And if I just quit now, then I know that I won't ever risk that. And I just couldn't fucking sleep. I was up till 3:30. And then I actually texted Janelle Webb, the Avon dispatcher, who is my co-conspirator, as they say. And she's like, just go in bed with your son. And just lie next to him and just be, and that worked. So I just laid next to him and just watched him sleep. And I fell asleep for like an hour and a half and woke up at 5 and I couldn't go back to sleep because I'm like all fucked up, you know, from this. And then the next night I slept 3 hours and then it was like, and then eventually I got back in a routine, but you know, I'm back.
Yeah. I remember when you came out and like you went live within probably 48 hours, I think. You went live 48 or 72 hours, and I remember you were different. Like,
yeah,
you were different to what you were before you went in jail, which is all I'd known. You know, I'd never watched you live yet, and I remember thinking, oh shit, he's a bit broken. You know, but as well, I was like, can't believe he's going live. You know, like he's just had this. You've been institutionalized, right, for like 60 days of your life, having to. And it doesn't take long, right? It doesn't take long. It's kind of like, you know, any institution where you're in hospital, like the world stops outside of those doors, right? I've not been in jail or prison, but so I can't sympathize, like I can't relate, I can't empathize exactly, but yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah,
like even
I have.
Oh,
you've been in jail.
Just for 12 hours, long enough for me.
It's enough. Yeah.
But honestly, when you say about not knowing the time, that for me, the biggest standout, other than the sort of the shame and just like dehumanization of it all, not knowing the time. Like I have clocks everywhere. I have time blindness as part of my neurodivergence. So I really, really struggle with time management and you know, time is just you know, an idea, it's not real to me. But not knowing what the time was and not knowing what was going on for those sort of 12 hours was utterly just agonizing, excruciating.
My second night, I did my show and I went to Meredith's to do it there. And I remember just like, and by the way, I've never been back to, like, I only spent the one night there and then I moved in with my parents for like a few weeks and I got my own place. But so I was here and did the show for the first time. And like, I didn't know what to say. I was, if you go back and watch the show, I was not like myself. I'm like, I don't know. I had so much I wanted to say, but like, I didn't even know where to start. And so I'm just like, cause I was so filled with like, you know, happiness, but also anger that like these fucking people lied and put me in here like evil, like the fate, the like now that we've had this extraction of the cell phone and you're reading the messages between like her and Jill Daniels, for instance, on the day that I'm arrested on December 26th. And she's talking about how her Christmas was ruined. Like he ruined my fucking Christmas and he's probably having the best time of his life. And he's so happy. And look at me, I'm so sad over here. It's like, she lied. You lied to put me in here. And no, my Christmas wasn't good. My Christmas was actually horrible. Like, because I couldn't be there for my kids to open their fucking Christmas gifts that I got them. Like I couldn't be there. All right. And when I finally saw them later in the day, I couldn't even give them the attention that I should have given them because I'm like on the news and there's a fucking bolo out for me. And I'm like contacting my lawyer and figuring out what we're going to do and blah, 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 blah. And so it's like, you read this and it's just like, man, there was just fucking evil. And like, I could not do that to another person. Just put them in jail if they were in it. I couldn't do it. And I don't know how these people sleep at night trying to do this to Karen Reed, because that's what they're trying to do to her. Like, these guilty people are trying to put an innocent person in jail, and I can't even fathom that type of evil.
You know what
They have-
is super interesting? Sorry, Shorty. Sorry.
No, you go.
Yeah, is you just got to wonder, you know, who else they've done it to before Karen Reed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in Norfolk County, I mean, I'm talking just Morrissey on his own, you know, and what shenanigans he's pulled. You know, I mean, he's never been a criminal prosecutor. He came into office having managed insurance and law firms, because I mean, I read an article a couple of weeks ago where he said, I think I told Sean this, where he said, yeah, sure, I've never prosecuted criminals. I don't have that experience, but I can handle the cash. I know how to handle the cash in an organization. And I thought, you're a piece of shit, mate.
He really is.
Yeah, I'll have to find it. And so I am, you know, I've even sent like court dockets and stuff to like Betterow, as if he doesn't have better things to do. And I'm like, what does this mean? You know, where's all this, you know, the poor Mark. But because it's like, yeah, I need to go to law to understand, so I can read everything and work out, because I'm convinced like he's done way more on the money side of things in that county, I reckon. And then he has the audacity to have these cash grab events. Like, fuck you, mate. No, like, go home, stop, like, quit. No one likes you. Like, nobody likes you. You look
nobody likes you. You're hated around the world. You're a small town county DA, and you're the most famous DA probably in the United States, and everybody fucking hates you. You're just such a fat piece of shit.
Yeah, like, he's going down and nobody likes him. Like, nobody likes you, mate. You are like,
that needs to be a shirt. Nobody likes you, mate. Nobody fucking likes you. I mean, yeah. It's a picture of Morrissey. Nobody likes you.
Yeah, you should. Nobody likes you, mate. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. But I saw I am reading some of the chat. People are asking like some questions. I saw one says, did the kids visit in jail? No, I was not going to do that to them. They would remember that. Like, I'm like, they'll forget about the 60 days I was away for work. But if they visited me in jail, they would never forget that. So I was not going to put them through that. And I saw somebody ask about the Tellis. I am watching the Rob Tellis trial, although it's not near, like, these other trials aren't nearly as interesting because it's just kind of open and shut. Of course, Rob Tellis killed Jeff German or German.
German.
Of course he did. Fucking course he did. I can't believe he's bringing this to fucking trial. Is even crazy that this is happening. And that's what, like, I'm not a true crime guy. I'm watch this. I'm like, of course this guy fucking did it. Whereas the Karen Reed one was just so obvious, and that's why I took such an interest in it. But I mean, Rob Tellis is a fucking psychopath narcissist like you've never seen before. Go watch some of his pretrial shit when he was representing himself. Like, it's freaking wild. This dude thinks he's getting away with it.
Hardcore.
And Brandy,
you go, Shorty. You go.
I was just going to say, Brandy Church was so funny. I've been watching the trial with Brandy, the Tellis trial, and she's like, ugh, I can't stand his face. Like, literally so many times. It's like he's just nothing about him is anything other than repugnant. He's just awful.
Like,
his mistress testified today.
I haven't watched today yet.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, it's like, but she's not much to say. She's just like, what did he think of Jeff Berman? It's like, he fucking hated him because you wrote bad things about him.
Was that the one that they were sitting in the back seat so they could like have eye contact with each other while they're having their meetings? Is that mistress?
Yeah, the one that they caught him on film getting in the back seat of the car, but they didn't hook up. He says they didn't hook up.
Right.
But his wife is standing by him. Like, his wife, his wife still comes. His wife sits in fucking court with them. Both Asian. The mistress was Asian and the wife is Asian. It's an interesting dynamic there. The guy is an Asian magnet. Some fucking how. He's a goofy motherfucker.
But I mean, like, he looks like Megamind and Boss Baby.
He looks like Chris Albert.
Oh, he looks like Chris Albert that's like not born yet. Like fetal Chris Albert.
Fetal Chris Albert. All right.
Yeah. But you know what? That case also, when I first read about it a couple of weeks ago or last week or whatever, I only heard about it. It made me think of you straight away as well, Aidan, because I'm like, holy shit, you know, like, this is, people are nuts. And when you expose corrupt politicians, Rob Tellis is nothing. Like, he thought he was important and he wasn't. And that's why he was dumb enough to kill this guy in broad daylight too, wearing a I'm going to
like I'm gonna go farm Vietnamese freaking rice patties or some shit.
Yeah, I'm off in
It
Dubai.
makes more sense now if he's got Asian an affiliate, an affection for Asians. It makes more sense that he chose the rice patty outfit. Really,
that's true. It must have been a fetish. He was excited. He thought, I can't wait to stab this motherfucker in my rice patty outfit. This is
and he's got they showed the Celebrate text messages today between her and him, and it shows her figuring out that it's him, and she's like, wait a minute, they're looking for a Yukon. Please tell me you don't drive a black Yukon. She's like, I do, but it's just a coincidence. Please tell me you don't have this on your grill. It's just so obvious. She's figuring out, oh my God, I fucked a psychopath who murdered someone. Oh shit,
Literally had sex with Chris Albert's fetus.
Definitely did.
Yeah, that's not going to get it. But yeah, he's guilty as, and yeah. So
Aqua E says you have to admit the cop investigation here in Vegas was 20 times better than Canton. Exactly. It's pretty fucking basic. They went to every neighbor's house. They got the freaking cameras out. They got picked. You know what I mean? It's it's so easy to get him. His Yukon was parked. He didn't park on the street. He parked way down the road, and they just pulled fucking cameras everywhere because there's cameras everywhere in this day and age. It's just so simple.
They stitched it together, and they've done that for heaps of cases because that's normal. It's 2024, even if it's 2018, they've done that for years. Not in Canton. No.
But they did before. Michael Proctor has done investigations properly before. It's not fucking brain surgery. He's not stupid. These guys aren't that dumb. Garino might be. And Joseph Paul might be, but everybody else, they know what they're doing. They're well aware that they're well aware that Ford Edge is an important clue that they should look into. They all fucking know that, and they're just no, we have no interest in that. That's not the witness is confused. Lucky luck.
He testified about the biome.
The biome.
That is so funny. The other night when you were watching him, I was in hysterics.
What the fuck is the biome? What the fuck? This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's just making shit up. And I just hate Garina. They're both so serious. They're real cops. You're looking at the jury, you guys know. So what that is, it goes in the ballpark.
Stuff.
Yeah. So what did you think of this Richard Green's report? Oh, he's wrong. So let me tell you what. So we looked at the report, and it did say deleted, but that's because it went in the wall file, and the wall file doesn't look. Bro, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Shut up. It just says deleted on it. End of story. Shut up.
But he's a very cop. He's a cop that wears a suit. He's an important cop.
He's an important guy. He doesn't have to put on the whole fucking uniform. He's a suit. The guys that wear the suits to work, they think they're hot shit. These guys really think Bukkake jerks off to himself in the mirror. He looks at himself, oh, I'm fucking hot, aren't I? I wear a fucking suit to work. Spank it. Those guys think they're fucking hot in tough shit because they get to wear suits to work. They're all just corrupt douchebags.
Shorty, you love Bukkake, don't you?
What, the man or the
the body, the exterior?
I love everything about Bukkake. Just so.
Of course.
That's getting clipped.
Touche. Is there?
Yeah. But
I'm nothing but honest, ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta get going in a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Last minute questions or anything?
Yeah. Chat. Any last minute questions from the chat? Oh, what's your favorite meal of food? What's your favorite meal of food, Aidan? That was one from one of my good friends, Ernie.
Prison chili. It was the bomb. Prison chili on white rice. It's became my new favorite thing ever.
I
never ate chili before prison. I love it now.
Can you replicate the recipe? Do you know how to make it like they made it?
Not as good, but I think I'd make an okay one. I've done it a couple times since I got out, but yeah. And mixed vegetables, the vegetables where it's green beans, the peas, the carrots. It comes in a frozen. It's fucking good. It's really good. I never ate vegetables before I got out either.
Oh, really?
No, I never.
Is that why you're so jacked now? Because you're actually adding in vegetables to your diet, and now you're your body's thanking you for it.
I'm trying. I eat peppers. When jail, you have to eat everything or you starve. So I just had no choice, and I learned to like new foods, and it was good for me.
Olivia Nile, did you have a question? I just saw someone, Shari, asking if I asked Olivia's question. I don't think I did.
We love Olivia. Olivia's
We
been
love Olivia. Olivia Lambo. She's amazing.
with us for a long time. Great tweeter, legendary.
Amazing.
There's a lot of great tweeters, you know, like Lena Del Turtle. I could go. This new Joe Flip Ahead, he's fantastic. Like, there's a lot of great accounts out there on Twitter, just random people who just have really good information. I'm like, oh, giving that guy a follow, you know.
And funny too, right? Like like all the handles, even like the YouTube handles that change all the time and mixed up. Like, there is some funny people with like creative talent and hilarity that kind of are just behind the scenes on Twitter and
The Grant parody account. Oh my God. Like when I met that guy for the first time, I'm like, oh shit. I felt like I'm meeting a superstar. Like, you're the Grant parody account. And like,
Is that actually a guy?
it's a guy.
Because he and I don't know if you've noticed, but he
I don't know
and
if he
I
wants
have
me
a
to say
thing.
this, but it's just too good not to share. Okay.
Yeah.
There was one time where Grant, he held a seat for me, and he was sitting next to Grant, tweeting from the fake Grant account and seeing Grant's live reaction to it, like getting so mad about it. And Grant had no fucking clue he was sitting next to him. True story.
That's amazing. Yes, Grande and I have a special love on Twitter at the moment. He breaks my heart all the time because he's still after the fake victim, and I just can't believe it because he's my baby G. But anyway, that account got me so many times with me thinking it was legit, and I finally worked out just to check. He's so good. I finally worked out just to check the first couple of letters in the handle to make sure that it's not the real Grant. But the real Grant follows me. I'm like, okay.
You know, it's a good parody account when you actually think it's them, or the fake Yellow Cottage Tales account. That's another good one.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, they get me so many times, and it's like Grant is kind of funny. Like, he's a piece of shit and he says some horrible things, but like, if you can just take him with a grain of salt, you'd be like, this guy's actually kind of funny. Like, breaking sources. Like, I don't even know if he believes the shit he's saying.
He's funny because he's actually retarded. So it's okay. You know what I mean? It's not like, yeah. So
have you seen the police reports that have started to come out? I need to do a story on all the Grant police reports.
I don't think so, no.
Oh my God. Oh, he called the cops on his mom. He called the cops on Wendy, and he called her a gold digger. Like, he told the police that Wendy was a gold digger. Oh, I need to do a whole show on the Grant police calls, because they go to his house in Belmont all the time. One time his mom called the cops on him because he knocked over his sister's dollhouse. Another time he invited some like Jack Stockdale or some shit like that, and Wendy fucking hates Jack and is just like, did not want Jack in the house. And so then the cops have to come and be like telling Grant, like, Jack can't come over. And he's like, but he's my best friend. It's fucking great. Oh my God. You're like, holy shit.
Aidan, before you go, Olivia Lambo's question is on the screen right now. I think I grabbed the question she wanted to ask. When is Aidan going?
So I am, it's like suing people is a lot of time and money, and I haven't thought of it before, but you reach a breaking point for me. And the breaking point for me was rapist. Like, that's when I'm just, okay, this has gone too far. It's one thing if some ratchet says it, whatever. But once Jennifer Kofindafer, who has 90,000 followers or whatever, and she's on Court TV and passes off as a serious person and is supposed to be believable. Once she starts saying shit like that, and then, Grant and Gaffney and all these people, it's like, now I'm going to, like, and I've been chronicling all this shit. Like, when I make accusations against people, I can back it up. I got receipts, whatever, or it's opinion. When I say Colin's in the house, right, I have Chris Albert's testimony that seems to confirm that based on his timeline, right? Whereas you can't just call someone a fucking rapist because you don't like them. You can't do that. And they feel really, free to do this. And so I'm going to be meeting with an attorney in the coming weeks that Bradle has set me up with, because eventually you just have to put the foot down and be like, no, this ain't okay. You can't do that.
It's proper defamation, and yeah, absolutely discussed. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Aidan, Dr. Daddy, for your time. And Lily, did you have anything final to say, or have you fangirled your heart out tonight? Whoa!
That was funny. The timing of that was great.
What happened? I think my dad tried to call. Did something happen? Did you guys say
Yeah.
bye?
No, she asked you a question. She goes, "Do you have anything else to say? Would you like to fangirl a little more?" And then your screen just went black. Right when she asked you that question.
Yeah, I mean, I could spend hours, but no. Yeah, I'm so grateful, Shorty. Thanks so much for sharing, Aidan. And yeah, it was so much fun. I feel like we've only been online for 20 minutes, and it's such a pleasure and an honor. And again, I don't care if it's like I'm blowing smoke. You deserve to be like told that you're doing a great job and you're doing a wonderful thing, because you really are. So you know, your kids will be so proud one day, and their grandchildren, and you inspire me to be better and to be stronger, and you know, to respectfully be a unique kind of person that believes in that believes in something meaningful, and isn't afraid to kind of show that and share that. So yeah, you're a big part of why I decided to start my channel a few months ago, and I've been on the fence about that for about 5 years. So you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be you, and if people like you, they'll like you, and if they don't, they can, you know, they can go the other way. It's all good, right?
Absolutely. And
yeah, so no, thanks for all you're doing, and yeah, we've got your back. I know Lisa and I, Shorty and I, have definitely got your back from Australia. Shorty's organising the Melbourne standout. I haven't committed to organising one yet. I'm a little bit, I've got a fear of commitment, but I would love to do something in Queensland, and I'm chatting with Nick, and there's a couple of others up here that we should join in as well, or we'll look kind of piss poor next to Melbourne doing one. So, or I'll get on a plane and take the easy way out and just join Shorties.
It's way out of my comfort zone. I am gregarious and extroverted online. I mean, I am kind of in real life too, but putting myself out there is going to be like interesting for me. And I'm like, what if I'm going to get arrested like Daddy, and then maybe I'll end up in jail? But no, I mean, it's exciting to be a part of this movement. The FOMO has dissipated a lot with that, so I'm really excited to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, good on you. Maybe I'll do that, Lisa. I might kind of try and join you in Melbourne, and we can do it together. That'll be kind of cool. But yeah, no, thanks heaps, Turtleboy. Yeah, you'll have to come on and have a chat another time on True Crime Kangaroo. And yeah, I mean, more Aussies need to know who you are. So
agreed, yeah,
let's help you do that.
Lily, do you want to stick around for a sec? And thank you so much, Dr. Turtleboy. We have had an amazing time. Thank you very much. Enjoy your holiday.
All right. Thanks for having me. Love you. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Oh, he's so cool. He's so cool, isn't he? I just yeah, I love him. And you, look at, yeah, thanks so much. I hope I didn't talk too much. I get carried away, and then, you know, but I think hopefully the time went so quick. Are you happy? Did it?
Yes.
Was everyone happy?
Amazing.
Did everyone have fun?
Amazing. Yes, everybody hit the like. Can we please smash that like, y'all? And subscribe if you're not already. I would like to get to 5,000 subscribers today if I could.
Yeah, what are you up to?
Oh, I don't know. Sarah, what are we up to?
Let's have a look.
It was close. I was about 200 away earlier today.
Oh, you should have said it while Turtleboy was on.
Oh, I'm not going to. That's fine. It'll happen. We're getting there.
It will. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's really great. And you've got your I became a member today.
Yay!
Yeah.
There's lots of cool emojis in the chat, and thank you. While we're talking about members, I'll just go through, because thank you to the new members. Nay, new member. My friend Fuba, Michelle, gifted 5 Miss Shorty members. Shall we say what? Became a member. Oh, Lana, thank you very much for your super chat about the standout. We'll keep cranking that and start really promoting it. Yes, it's very exciting. I might need to brainstorm with you, Lana, about where can be the best meeting point. I was thinking Flinders Street Station, but then I got all scared, like there's heaps of cops around there, and triggered. Don't need to be arrested again, folks.
I don't think I'll just quickly say, and then I might let you go, Shorty, and you can thank
Okay.
your members and your supers and stuff, and I'll hop in the chat with everyone else. But yeah, I've protested in actually the only protesting I've ever done is in Melbourne for Oscar's Law for puppy farms, and that we did it on the courthouse steps, which makes sense. But obviously this is a bit different being Karen Reid and being overseas. But yeah, it's legal. It's legal.
Okay,
but
good.
I will definitely have a look at coming down, and I'll have a look into all of those little bits for you as well to make sure that because I like looking at all just to make sure what rules and regulations are, and I'll help you out with that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad we could sort it out so you could be here. I'm sorry you had to shift your stream, but we're not going to be saying to Daddy, sorry, Daddy can't do tonight. So
I almost did, and then I was like, you know what, I'm probably not prepared enough anyway because I've been sick, and so it all worked out perfectly. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Love all you're doing, and I shall talk to you soon. Thanks everyone in the chat.
Thanks, Lily. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So y'all, I'll go through these super chats and stuff now. Don't forget to hit like, please. Thanks, Nick. Thank you to my amazing mods too, by the way. We've got Sarah, Kat, Jess, Nick, Melly, brand new to the team, Jeno. Thank you. Amazing. I love your work. I love your face. Ask Bob. I'm so sorry. I know you want that video played. I can share it to my channel. I'm running this bad boy sort of operation purely off my iPhone. I know I'm a professional, so it's tricky for me to be able to do anything with screen sharing and stuff. One day maybe I'll be able to buy myself like an actual laptop that works, but for now we're going with just my face and the guests' faces, and that's that. But if you want to send it to me, DM me on Twitter or send me an email, you can do that, and I will share it on my channel. Thank you. What else we got? Sarah in shock and horror. Gifted 10 Miss Shorty memberships. Thank you so much, gorgeous. James Forbes became a new member. Oh, really? Woody has I don't recall. Yeah, well, that trial's wild. Lily became a member. She just said. Thank you for that super chat, Ms. Adventurous Book Mouse. Fubar, again, thank you. Making it rain in the chat. Amazing. Again, that smile of his is deranged. I presume that's Boss Baby, yeah? Yuck. John Duncan became a new member. Oh, and thank you so much for a coffee from Gentest. Just came in through then. Thank you so much. John Duncan gifted out 5. Wow. Okay, Lana, yes, you can buy Turtleboy Daily News, his website. You can buy the merch there, and it does deliver to Australia in not very much time at all. So get in there and buy some stuff. I just ordered a couple of T-shirts and a cap a couple of nights ago for our standout. So yay. What else we got? Shari, thank you, baby girl, for gifting out 10. Love you. Ernie. Who would say anything other than loving Dr. Daddy Turtleboy? Nobody. Oh, Melissa, thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you. 5K, bring it. And please pass the pepper, yum, and salt. Great panel. Thanks. All right, guys, shorties. Please, after the stream's ended, if you could maybe drop a little comment into the comment section, that will help get this out to the algorithm. But thank you so much for being here. I hope that you maybe will stick around, subscribe, and come to some more of my live streams, not just free Karen Reid. I've got some interesting stuff coming up. John Benet Ramsey mystery might be solved. Stick around for that one. But I think that's all. Thank you, friends. Thank you, shorties. Love your faces. Bye.